Hello and welcome to the Wife Table. I'm your host, Brittany Williams, and I'm so happy to welcome you to season 2. Welcome back. We are so happy that you came back. Thank you all for the love and support that you've shown over the last season. It has been incredible, and I'm looking forward to much better and more beautiful things coming in the future.
Amen.
So before we get started, I do want to shout out KW Self-Portrait Studio. Mimi has been incredible. She is sponsoring this entire season again. So y'all go follow Mimi. I'll put her details in the comments below. KW Self-Portrait Studio is a studio where you can come and record with your family, take photos, enjoy the moment, have a podcast set up like this. But I need y'all to go and support Mimi's page. All right, so with that being said, y'all, my best friend is here in the studio. She is finally here.
It only took one season.
Y'all, I'm so happy that you get to meet my best friend.
Aww.
She is incredible in my life. We met almost 8 years ago.
Yeah.
And I literally fell in love with her the first time I met her.
As did I.
Like I was in a period where I was transitioning out of certain friendships that didn't work out. And I was like, God, I need some new friendships, but I want it to be ordained by you. And literally, he sent Dish.
Aww. And Brittany literally has been such a blessing.
Aww.
You've been a blessing in my life. I was even just reflecting on how we met, and like the friendship has just continued to blossom. And I thank God. Like Brittany is really the definition of a true best friend, and
Aww.
she is one of the very few people that I give that title to, and I don't just give it loosely. So just know you are really special in my life.
I love you,
appreciate
Dish.
you. I love you too.
Thank you.
No problem.
So for those who don't know Dish, I will formally introduce her by reading her bio. Okay. So her name is Khadija Malcolm. To some, she is known as Dish or Deja. She's a nurse, a wife, daughter, child of God, sister, auntie, and godmother. But in all things, she's a humble servant and a student of life. Yeah. I love that. Yeah. She's learning, growing, and maximizing her God-given strengths and abilities. She's passionate about serving and advocacy and ensuring people feel represented, have a voice, and are heard, especially when they may not know how to advocate for themselves. This is where, as an introvert, you'll find her showing up loudly. Yes, that is actually so true. A worshiper at heart, she does love to sing, absolutely, and music is her therapy.
It is.
Her goal in life is to keep evolving and remain a student at heart, even in the moments where she's called to teach. Ooh,
Yeah.
sis coming strong with the bio. Well, welcome again, sis. I'm so happy that you are here.
Thank you for having me at the table.
Yes.
I'm so excited to finally make my appearance.
Absolutely.
God knows I've wanted to be on since season 1, but Brittany knows just how cumbered my life is right now. So the fact that I'm available today, means the world to me. It means the world to me.
She made time, y'all. She is busy, but I'm so happy that she's here. So why don't we jump into some rapid fire questions?
Let's go.
Let the people get to know you a little bit better. And as always, y'all, this is not scripted. Dish has no idea what questions we are asking today. But actually, before we jump into rapid fire, I didn't tell y'all what the topic is for today. Okay? The topic for today is growing in young love, evolving together.
Love it.
So we're gonna jump into that a little bit more. Okay, let's jump into some rapid fire though, real quick. Okay, heels or sneakers?
I'm a sneakers girly. I love my sneakers, and mainly because I do have an ACL injury, meniscus injury. So heels, though I love them, they're uncomfortable for me.
Fair enough.
So sneakers any day.
Okay, perfect. Beach or mountains?
Ooh. Okay, so I love me a good beach and a nice seawater, but I can't do heat. I'm not a heat person. I'm sorry. I get so miserable when it's hot and you're sweating and trying to thermoregulate. It's just, so I'd rather be somewhere where it's nice and relatively cool.
Cooler.
And
Okay.
I can heat up myself as opposed to being hot and not having the ability to cool down.
Okay, fair enough. So
mountain.
Mountain. Okay, mountain it is.
And the scenery is very beautiful.
Beautiful. Agreed. Okay. Cook at home or eat out.
Ooh. Okay, I am also a homebody. And Junior knows I can cook.
Yes.
So I'm gonna say cook at home.
Yes.
I love cooking when I have time.
Okay. Music or podcasts?
Ooh. Okay, I love both, but I did say music is my therapy, so I'm gonna go with music.
I knew she was gonna say that, yeah. Okay, I think you kind of answered this already, but summer or winter?
Winter, and our birthdays are in January,
January
so
babies, yes.
by default, winter.
Okay, morning or night person?
Ooh, okay. As of recently, I've been a morning person.
Okay.
Not of my own accord. It's because, again, I have to get up early. So I've routined myself to be a morning person,
Okay.
but I prefer night. I am a night person.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. I know you're not a social media girly, but if you had to pick TikTok or Instagram.
Ooh, okay. So when TikTok was like going on and everyone's talking about their TikTok, I was like, I refuse to download TikTok because I don't want another social media account to just like, capture my attention. And, some people doom scroll when they should be doing other things. I'm like, I don't want another social media account to doom scroll on. So I'll say Instagram only because I do not have a TikTok account.
I figured you'd say that. Okay. This is an interesting one. Shopping or saving?
Ooh, okay. I am a saver. I love saving, but if I do have to shop, I spare no expense. I'm not
There
gonna
you
lie.
go.
Yeah,
There you
but I
go.
love to save. Love saving.
Amazing. Okay, one more. I think I know the answer to this, but let's see. Planner or go with the flow?
100% planner.
Yes.
I was even gonna tell Brittany, being on this podcast, I'm excited to be here, but her not giving me any questions was like, I don't know what to prepare for.
Yep.
Even at work, like I will write out a schedule and I'm planning from the start to the end just so it keeps me on track, but definitely a planner.
Yeah, we're the same way. Spontaneity does not work for us, but today you are in the hot seat.
Yes, exactly.
But we kind of have a topic, so it will kind of be in the topic. Okay, Deesh, thank you for answering those questions. I hope y'all got to know my bestie a little bit more. So this season we switched up the signature questions because if you've watched the other season, our signature questions. So I'm like, nah, we gotta switch it up a little bit just to keep them on their toes. So we have brand new signature questions for season 2. So let's jump into those. Signature question is, what's a silent struggle that wives don't talk about enough?
Ooh. A silent struggle that wives don't talk about enough. I would say sometimes feeling not enough. Feeling not enough for your spouse, even though they show you that they love you, they tell you that they love you. Sometimes internally we think like, are we not doing the best? Are we not enough? Is my spouse potentially gonna look for someone else? Or are they looking at someone else and saying, I wish my wife was like this? I would say that's definitely one of the internal struggles.
Okay, I appreciate you saying that. Yeah, I think many women can agree with that. It's just feeling like, does my spouse still desire me?
Yes,
am I still that girl?
Am I desirable? That's a good
Come
one.
on. Okay. What season of marriage are you currently in?
Ooh, I love that question. So I would say my current season of marriage, I would describe it as a new horizon. So when I think of a new horizon, I think of refreshment. You think of the sun setting and coming up, the day, it's a new day. Essentially, the things that happened yesterday, they've happened and they're no longer, right? So the season that we're in, we're 10 years in. It's a new decade, so I think of refreshing and like really becoming a partner with my partner.
I love that,
Thank you.
Okay, 10 years in, y'all.
years.
We're gonna jump into that in our formal questions, but y'all, we gotta give her props for that.
Thank you.
Like I said, someone I look up to as a wife in marriage and admire her and how she operates as a wife, how she takes care of her household. So more to come, but Deesh, Congrats. That's
Thank
amazing.
you.
Yes, a decade in.
Well,
okay.
it's amazing.
Last signature question. What's your unpopular opinion of marriage?
Ooh. My unpopular opinion of marriage. That's a great question. It's not always roses. You know, some people say marriage is beautiful. That's what we love to tell the outside people who are not married. And yes, it is very beautiful, but you're not always gonna have sunshine and roses. There are gonna be some rainy days, but knowing that rainy days don't last.
Come on.
Yeah, they don't
Okay.
last. There's always the sunrise the next day.
I love that. Okay. All right, sis. Thank you again for answering those signature questions. And like I said, today we're talking about young love. And I'll have Deesh kind of share her story, but she got married at a very young age. And I remember before I officially knew who you were, I always heard like, yeah, that's the young married couple over there. Like they got married so young. And as younger folks at the time, we always kind of looked up to you guys like, oh my God, how did you guys do? You guys are so young. So I'm happy that we're kind of digging in because there may be some couples watching who are younger.
Exactly.
And or maybe courting. And very young in age, and I hope and trust that this will be beneficial for you.
I do. I pray.
Absolutely. So let's jump into those questions a little bit.
Let's go.
So 10 years in, take us back down memory lane. What did young love look like for you in the beginning?
Okay, young love. So as Brittany mentioned, I've been married for 10 years. I often find when I do present that statement, people look at me like, how old are you? So I am 30 years old now. I've joined the 30 club. We did get married when we were 20. My husband, Junior, he was actually 19. I am 3 months older than him. And young love at that time, like, it was beautiful. Honestly, it was really rare. As Brittany said, a lot of people looked at us like, do you guys know what you're doing? Do you know what you're getting into? I just knew that we loved each other. We talked about spending the rest of our lives together. And the main thing that really connected me to Junior was talking about building. I'm like, I have not met a young man who talked about building, like building a future and wanting to sustain and take care of a family. So that really drawed me to him. And I was like, okay.
I love that.
We're on the same page here. We want to build, we talked about retiring early.
Okay, I love that.
So that's what really drew me to him. And as well, like, just him being in the church and loving God and knowing who God is, it also solidified it for sure.
I love that. Yeah. So what I'm hearing you say is that building piece, like he came to the table with something. He's like, okay, this is my vision for what I see our lives looking like. And you decided to ride that train with him.
I'm like, at 19 years old, this is what you're thinking. I'm like, oh, let's go.
So walk me through this. So you're 20.
Yes.
And you go to your mom, your dad, and say, I want to get married. Or even before that, because you probably were younger when maybe, let's say, when he proposed to you. Walk us through that. But how did your village around you react or respond?
Mr. Junior was having his conversations with my mom, my dad, and saying, I'm going to ask your daughter for my hand in marriage. And I think the main thing that people like really spoke to us about was like, are you ready? Like, do you know what you're getting into? But then on the contrary, we did have a lot of, our church community at the time, like encouraging it, because they obviously seen that we were together as a couple, and we were encouraged to do it the right way, live right, live holy. So, just so that you're not sinning and that you're not living out of fornication and all that stuff, get married and do it the right way. So it was encouraged in the church community. And then also I remember my mom really saying like, are you ready? Like it shocked her. It really shocked her. I would say my mom, out of all people, it shocked her.
Okay.
Yeah.
Did you find anyone saying, I don't think this is right, or no, I think you should wait? Or were the majority of people saying, no, girl, go for it. You're young. Do it now. Like, what did you find?
I found that a lot of people more encouraged it. Again, being in the church, being saved, it was encouraged. Like, okay, if you guys are going to be a couple, better you do it this way than, you guys do it unmarried and like, you end up having kids out of marriage. Not that I'm like, shunning anyone that has, but I'm just speaking as to why it was encouraged.
I love that.
Yeah.
Okay. So I think what you're saying is that it's good to have people around you that will encourage you and support you.
Yes.
And perhaps if you maybe found more folks being against it, maybe that could have deterred you a little bit.
It could have.
It could have. But I'm happy that you guys made the jump.
Yes.
And little did you know, there was a whole generation of young folks looking at you guys and looking up to you guys.
I had no idea. Honestly, I had no idea.
Yeah.
And like when I look back at it, I do think like if I had those people in my corner saying, maybe just wait a little bit, I think that could have benefited me as well, so that I truly knew what I was getting into.
Okay.
Like I said, being 19 and 20, the lens was just living right for God.
Gotcha.
But there wasn't the aspect of, this is what marriage is.
Okay.
This is what marriage requires. This is what you need to know going into a marriage. Do you even know who you are at that age?
Come on.
All that, like those conversations weren't had. And
Okay.
being 30 years old now, I do wish I had those conversations.
I'm glad you brought that up because I got married at 26, which is a little bit older. But still, I'll be honest with you, sis. I don't feel like I fully knew who I was until I turned 30.
No, absolutely. Absolutely.
30 for me, I don't know if it was a light bulb that went off or whatever epiphany that was, but I finally figured out
who you are,
who I am, what I like, what I don't like, what I tolerate, what I won't. And like, it just clicked for me.
Absolutely.
So to your point, similarly, like people weren't saying, okay, why don't you guys wait? Why don't you guys slow down? They were like, no, do it, like go work.
And this is why I appreciate mediums like this, the wife table, where women come on and speak the truth, the real, the raw of their experience.
Absolutely.
So that people are not encouraging you to do something out of the goodness of what it entails and like the institution of it, but really saying, pause. Do you know what you're getting into? Asking all these critical questions.
Come on.
Before you jump into something unprepared. Because if I was to have my husband here at the table, he would say, like, we jumped into it unprepared. We were very unprepared. Yes, we were in love. We loved the Lord and we wanted to do this thing. We were on the same page. Were we prepared? Not at all.
So let me call you guys out a little bit, or call your community. Do you feel like there was any counseling that was available for you? And what are your thoughts on premarital counseling, especially for young couples?
Unfortunately not. I remember having one meeting with our bishop at the time. And we had, it was a good conversation, but that was it. Like, there was no follow-up. There wasn't any, real raw, do you guys know what marriage is in the first place? Do you know what a godly marriage looks like? So to that, I would say premarital counseling, 100% is needed because everyone has this, fairy tale lens on. I'm gonna marry this Prince Charming. We're gonna get a house. We're gonna have babies, and we're gonna live happily ever after. Yeah, no, that's not what it was. That's not what it was at all. So I think having premarital counseling and having hard discussions on hard topics like finance.
Come
on whether you both want children. These hard conversations need to be had. So that when the person that you're going to spend the rest of your life with, you know what their expectations and what their values are. Do your values even align?
Come on.
Right? Do your beliefs even align? Yes, you guys both attend church, but what are your beliefs?
Come on.
Men and women roles.
Okay, sis, you're saying a lot, and I'm fully in agreement with you, and that's why I was like, okay, if we're having real raw conversation, let's go there.
Yeah.
Because for us, we had a little bit of counseling, but it wasn't sufficient enough, looking back.
Oh, yeah.
I believe at the time, the person who did it did the best they could.
Of course, with what they had.
But I heard someone say this, I don't remember who it was, but they said, in life, we prepare for so many different things. We prepare for school. We go to 4 years of university to get a degree, or you go back and you study this to be a doctor. You have to have multiple years of schooling to be a lawyer, to be whatever you want to be in life, to even go to be a driver. You have to go to driving school, and you have to, there's levels. You gotta get your G1 and then your G2 and then your G. But with marriage, there's no kind of preparation. And marriage is one of the biggest decisions you'll ever make in your life.
Absolutely.
And it's a lifelong decision. So I believe we are doing a disservice to the folks who are getting married. And I can only speak to the church because that's where we're from. That's our community.
Yep.
We have to do better.
Yeah, absolutely. And then to that, like, why are marriages not lasting, right? You know, some people, like, checking the motives of why someone even wants to get married in the first place.
Yeah.
And, like, discerning, should these people get married? Should these people get married right now? I feel like there needs to be leadership that will really hold people accountable to the decisions that they're currently making or wanting to make. And, like, advising them, like, really, I don't think this is the time for you. And, of course, we all have free will. If they choose to go against your counseling, then that's on them.
That's on them. But there has to be either some kind of course or curriculum or something put in place in our overall community to say, okay, before anyone gets married, these are the courses, these are the life lessons, these are the things that we need to talk about before we can say, go ahead, or you can have our blessing. And I believe that if we had more of that, then hope, to your point, maybe we would see more successful marriages.
Yeah, we would have marriages that are sustained, right? And so to anyone listening, if you know any leaders, if you yourself are a leader, you're a creator, and you feel like this is where God is nudging you, the direction that God's nudging you, walk right into that calling, because
it's needed.
It's needed. It is 100% needed.
100%. Okay, so sis, thank you for saying that. I'm glad we talked about it, y'all, because it's important.
Very.
What I'd love for us to jump into next is, okay, so you guys got married young. What is one way that you think you have matured, whatever you want to say, over the years? Like, what's one way you would say, yeah, you've grown?
I love that question. I love that question for many reasons. I would say one of the biggest things is learning that sometimes in order to be heard, you have to do listening first.
Oh, say that again.
Sometimes in order to be heard, you got to be doing the listening first. And like, that is something that I'm currently walking through in my marriage, because I feel like I'm always sitting here saying, he's not listening to me, he doesn't understand me. When the whole time I should be listening, and I would know that the whole time he is understanding me. And so it goes to, I think Janice on her podcast, she was talking about playing the victim, right? Taking off that victim lens and saying, okay, let me pause. Let me assess the situation by listening, and then I'll hear that this person was understanding me the whole time.
I'm so glad you said that.
Yeah.
And you all will see, I had this chat with my mom, because my mom's on the season as well.
Yay, Mom!
And she said something very similar.
Did she?
As women, we like to talk.
We talk.
We have a lot to say. But we don't do a lot of listening. I can be guilty. I'll put my hand up, y'all. We're having a raw conversation. I would say, Lord Jesus, help me. Sometimes I find myself talking a lot more than I should be. Can I just be honest? Okay, I'm being honest today.
We all do it.
Yep.
We are, we're culprits. We do it.
But I love that you're challenging us today. And I heard someone say this as well. We have one mouth and we have two ears for a reason. So we're supposed to be doing twice the amount of listening as we are doing the talking.
Absolutely.
Okay, sis. Thank you for sharing that.
Oh, you're welcome.
Let's talk about seasons in the last 10 years, especially growing as a young couple. Were there any seasons where you felt like you both were growing at different speeds?
Oh, yeah, for sure.
And walk us through that.
For sure. I would say the first 10 years. I would say it's only now that we're past the 10 years that we're truly just learning each other and fully understanding like our languages and how we receive love. Like, a lot of the women talked about, men receive love by respect.
Yes.
And women, we love to be loved. And like, it took me 10 years to essentially really see what that means. And like, I'm not ashamed to say, okay, 10 years in, like, I'm just now learning, and I'm now seeing the beauty of marriage. The first 10 years were rough. They were rough.
And I'm so glad you said that, because I'm up next month is 8 years for us.
years.
And I agree, like there's been a lot of, and I've heard older, more mature seasoned couples say this, that the first 5 to 10 years, it's rough because you're really trying to gel two different people together.
Absolutely.
And especially as young people who were growing individually, and now you both are growing together as well. So I'm sure, as you mentioned, that was a challenge.
We were still in our growing stage. Like, so he was growing one way, I was growing another way, and that caused a lot of tension. It caused a lot of distance between us.
Of course.
But like I said, 30-year-old us is just like, okay, we're a partnership. Like, let's get this. And so we're becoming that like best friend. We were best friends before we even got married. So like I now view him as my best friend again. And so I think that's very beautiful. I think it's beautiful. But those 10 years, ciao.
Okay.
Lots
Thank
of
you for saying
learning
that.
lessons, no problem.
And in your bio, you said you want to always be a student, right? The learning never stops.
It never stops
because both folks are always evolving and always changing.
Always
and so
evolving.
I love that your mindset is, no, I'm a student and I always want to learn.
I have to. If you don't keep learning, like you're gonna just stay stagnant. And that's not my will. I know that's not the will of the Father for our lives to be stagnant. We're not still waters. We are growing human beings, we're growing individuals, and the plan is to just continue to elevate and to grow. And the best thing is to grow together.
Yep. Okay. Yes. Amazing. All right. So we talked a little bit about seasons. If you could pick one lesson, what would you say that lesson was that you had to learn the hard way as a young couple?
I would say always have your partner's back.
Walk us through that.
Always have your partner's back. You know, sometimes they might be wrong in something, but you don't have to publicly execute them with the public. You know what I'm saying? They can do something wrong and you can hold them accountable in private. But the moment you show outsiders that you are against them, it weakens. It weakens the dynamic of your marriage. It weakens the force of your marriage. It weakens the bond of your marriage. Because now your husband now views you as an enemy. Like, this is the person that is my partner, yet they're bringing me down with everyone else. Who is she? Who is she? And that was one thing I had to learn because, you know, my husband, I love him, but there's just certain things he would do. And in public, I would like embarrass him. I'd be like, why are you doing that? And to him, I think it offended him more that I was publicly calling him out with others, because he's like, you're my partner. Like, why are you siding with them over me? You know? So that's one thing I definitely learned, is always have your partner's back. You can literally speak to them about their wrongdoings in private, but don't ever show on the outside that you are against each other. It weakens the bond, absolutely.
That's beautiful, sis. I think yesterday in church, there was one of the things that the preacher was saying, and I never saw it like this before, but as you were speaking, it made me think about it, was love covers a multitude of sin.
Yes.
And so being that covering for your spouse, to your point, is, he messed up in publicly, but how we cover that, and especially in a public lens, is super important. So I'm so glad you highlighted that. I would think that being in a social media type of age, we see this stuff happening all the time, where wives are publicly shaming and humiliating their spouses, and
what do you benefit from that? You don't benefit anything from that. And I love that you just put the scripture on it. Love covers a multitude of sin. And when they see that you cover them in love instead of humiliation and instead of shame, like, I feel like that does something for them on the inside that cannot be explained.
Wow. Beautiful.
Yeah.
That's something I'm taking away from today. Thank you, sis. That was beautiful.
Problem.
We are winding down. So I got one more formal question for you. This is a really good one. So, if you could speak to your younger self, what would you tell them? So maybe your 20-year-old self, now that you're 30, what would you tell your 20-year-old self?
I love that question. I love it. I honestly would say, hey girl, hey. Yes. I would say that you're beautiful, you are young, you've got your life ahead of you. I would say don't rush into anything. You know, looking back at it, I feel like I did rush into marriage. I would tell myself to really enjoy singleness.
Come on.
Enjoy your singleness. Because in your singleness, that's where you discover really who you are at the core. In your singleness, you get to discover the things that you love, who Brittany is outside of marriage, who Khadijah is outside of marriage. You grow as an individual before you know, mesh together with someone else. And I feel like when you're single and you don't rush into things, you have time to maximize and to really grow as an individual for this person. And become the best version of you for that person.
So beautifully said, sis. I mean, I can't take away anything that you said. I like to elaborate and highlight the point around knowing who you are. And I see this fun, I don't know if I would say dichotomy between single and married. That married folks are telling single folks, take your time, enjoy. And then single folks are saying, no, we want to get married. We want to get married. And it's just like, if you truly can discover who you are as a single person outside of somebody else, it will set you up for success when you are married.
100%. 100%. The worst thing is to try to find yourself while you're married. Like, you don't really have, I don't want to say you don't have time, but when you have other responsibilities, another human being that you have to love and protect and take care of, you're not maximizing time on yourself.
Absolutely.
Let's be real.
And to that point is perhaps you're coming in as a broken person or an unhealed person. That person's come, and I'll be honest, that happened in my marriages. And maybe you as well, you can relate, like we were both trying to discover who we were as married people, but individually. And I believe that created a lot of conflict in my marriage because the things I realized about myself, I didn't know until I took the time to rediscover. And it was causing quite a bit of clash. So listen up, single folks, okay?
And marriage will bring out things in you that you didn't even know was there.
Come on.
You said. But if you really took the time to discover who you are, you can work on those things before they come out in a bad way in your marriage. Like, work on yourself. Work on yourself.
Trust me, you will thank us. You will come back and be like, I'm glad I watched the episode all the way to the end because I learned something, okay?
Yes.
All right, sis, I'm going to turn the table over to you. And I want you to speak to a young couple who perhaps is going through a tough time in their marriage. Maybe they're dealing with some of the things that we talked about today, is trying to figure out who they are or struggling with conflict as a young person and a young couple. What would you say to that young couple?
I would definitely say find someone that you trust. Find maybe another couple that you guys trust and see if you guys can walk through some of the difficulties that you're going through with that couple. Someone who's going to give you sound counseling, words of wisdom, words of affirmation, someone who's going to pray with you, someone who's going to hold you accountable as well, because sometimes we are the problem within our problem.
Come on.
So find someone that you truly, truly trust. And I would say, don't suffer in silence.
Wow.
I've done it and it didn't benefit me in any way. You know, walk with a community, find a community. If you don't have community, you have community with the Life's Table. Literally, we're not meant to walk through life alone. And so I feel like you shouldn't have to go through things on your own. And don't look for someone to heal you. Like, especially in a marriage, don't expect your spouse to be the person to heal you. It's just not going to happen. It's not going to happen. So definitely find community and walk through it, walk through some of the difficulties with them.
That's so powerful.
I feel like having community is what helped me stay married.
And y'all heard my story about Deesh and her saying, Britt, you're not leaving your husband. I don't care what you do. That was my bestie. And I can fully agree with that statement to say, if I didn't have community at that time in my marriage, I don't think I would have been married today.
Where would we be?
And even Jesus,
Jesus first and
had
foremost.
12 disciples with him. Okay, so if Jesus did not walk this walk alone,
who are we to think?
We can't. No
We can
man's
do it.
island. Absolutely.
Exactly.
I hope you enjoyed my bestie today coming on the
I
table.
had fun. I was honestly very nervous.
You did so
But
well.
this was amazing. I'm so happy to have been on the wife's table, at the wife's table, actually.
Absolutely.
It was fun, and I'm glad that we had this conversation.
Yes. Yeah. Thank you again for watching. We are so happy that you stayed till the end. If that was you, give us a like, comment down below anything that stuck out to you from today's episode. And until the next time, y'all, stay seated, have a seat, because we have more coming for you at the wife table. Until next time, y'all, see you then. Bye.